Welcome to Funnel Hacker Radio Podcast, where we go behind the scenes and uncover the tactics and strategies top entrepreneurs are using to make more sales, dominate their markets, and how you can get those same results. Here's your host, Dave Woodward.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to Funnel Hacker Radio. I'm your host, Dave Woodward. You guys are in for an awesome experience today. Rarely do I have the privilege of having two people on at the exact same time, and even better today, they're husband and wife who are absolutely crushing it. I want to welcome Nicholas and Amanda Bayerle. Welcome, guys.
Hey, Dave. Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you. We're excited to be on Funnel Hacker Radio.
I am so excited. I met you guys at the podcast movement just a couple months ago, and it was just so exciting to see the energy that you guys have and the passion for your brand and for everything that you guys are doing. So real quick, help people understand what exactly is Billion Dollar Body, and also what is the really kind of the culture that you've created with it, because I think it's a fascinating experience.
Yeah, so really the progression of it is that we're looking to be and are the #1 health and fitness company for male entrepreneurs. We really wanted to specify in that area because that's really who I am. And through doing that over the last 5 years, we realized that we created this community that we now call the Brotherhood and the Brotherhood Elite, where we were helping all these amazing businessmen transform and live this billion-dollar body lifestyle. And it really created deep, meaningful connections and relationships that help them build their business, have better relationships with their wives, or even going out there and having better relationships and networking better. And so really it's been a progression of helping male entrepreneurs, serving them in their health and in their wealth.
I love that. So tell me real quick, guys, how do the two of you guys actually work together? You know, we were joking just before we started the recording about most of the time there's a lot of couples who would love to do this, but the end result is going to be imminent divorce or frustration or things basically not being able to separate work and marriage and life. How do you guys do it all?
Yeah, so it definitely is a challenge of, finding the difference between what's like how to turn work off when you're both very entrepreneurial. And as an entrepreneur, it's kind of hard to turn it off. So that's something that you just have to figure out. But it's really just defining your roles in the business. And Nicholas and I have been able to do that. He has his role, I have my role, and we know our strengths and our weaknesses. And I don't try to do his job, and he doesn't try to do my job. It's just like any other type of business partner. But I mean, it's definitely a different dynamic when you are a couple and doing this. But it makes life so much fun. We all have our challenges, but I wouldn't imagine it any other way. Like it's so much fun. And you just have to be around other power couples too. We actually had the honor of hanging out with a mutual friend, Dave, Brandon and Kaylin Poulin this past weekend.
Yeah.
And to see them work together, it's really fun. I'm kind of like the Brandon, and Nicholas is kind of like Kaylin. So it's cool to see it doesn't matter. It's not like the girl always has to be the public figure. Sometimes it's the opposite. And so we actually had an evolution of our company where I used to be the front of the company, but then we switched because I realized that that's not actually what I love to do. I like to do the back end type stuff and the funnels. So I'm kind of the IT person. So, for anyone who wants to work out there, work in a business together, just realize that it's okay to have confrontation and just to know your roles as a couple.
I love it. Nicholas, any things you'd say on that same topic?
Yeah, I think we got something really like a big blessing in disguise to us, because when we first went into business together, it was right when we got married, and we had no real other choice. We didn't go into all these different careers beforehand where we had to make a decision, who's going to lead their career, who's going to provide all these things. We were like, we need to go out there, create a business. We need to go make money. We can either do it through a job or through serving people. So it was never a thought to us to go have one person get a job and someone else work on the business. We just thought, let's go all in. Let's build this thing. And so we just made it work because of that. So the lack of options really helped us a lot. So it's figuring out, again, like what type of options do you have out there, and what type of life are you trying to create? Because at the end of the day, we knew that we could have went out and got quote unquote jobs when we were 20 and 18 and got married. But at the end of the day, that wouldn't ever accomplish what we were trying to do in life. So we just chose to eliminate options. And I found that's a great way to be able to get on the right track and not have to switch your career, your business, your focus so often.
I love it. Well, I'm really kind of curious about the name, the Billion Dollar Body. A lot of people toss out there, the million seems to be the first name, but very few people actually go for the big B. So help me understand how you guys came up with the Billion Dollar Body.
Well, that's the result we were trying to create our clients. At the end of the day, we wanted them to look and feel like $1 billion. And people always ask me, I want to create my $1 billion body. How do I do that? And they're really missing the entire point. The point is that they already have $1 billion body. And when they realize that, they treat it a completely different way. I noticed it with nice cars. People would put 91 fuel in. They wouldn't get the cheapest gas. They'd get the oil changed. They'd get the car waxed. They'd take care of it because of the value of the car. And then you look at low valued cars and they just, oh man, shipping this thing across the country, that's more than this thing's worth. I'm not even going to do that. I'm not going to get it washed. I'm not going to get the oil changed. And I'm always going to look for the cheapest gas. And I noticed that all came down to the value that they had. So really we're helping people realize that they are more valuable, become successful on the inside, and allow that internal success in the private to then breed success around them and change the atmosphere around them instead of having success all around them but being failing on the inside.
I love it. So I'm real fascinated about your brand and the things that you're doing, because some of the stuff as I've looked at, I mean, you guys have content, but you guys also just did a real large event as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, we limited it to 100 men. Every single person paid full price. We had no discounts. We had no free people in the room, and we had 100 powerful men that were handpicked that we invited to come out. And it was just a powerful experience of people that were all like-minded.
So, Nicholas, I want to talk about, maybe Amanda can help me on this as well, as far as what is the funnel that gets everybody in the room sold out with no free tickets? Because there's a lot of people who will go, oh, I sold out my show, my live event. And basically 99% of them were free tickets and they had one person pay. So help me understand, how did you actually pull that off?
Well, the first thing was actually getting out there every single day for 4 years and meeting people. That was one of the first steps of actually just mastering our message, figuring out what result we're trying to create people. Because at the end of the day, people don't want to buy a process. They want to buy the result that the process gives them. And the process is just the way to get them there. So nobody even wants to go to my life.
I'm going to stop you there right next. I think that is just, you're dropping value bombs like crazy. Because I think I run across this with a lot of entrepreneurs all the time. And that is, if you don't mind, just kind of restate that whole thing as far as the process and result.
At the end of the day, nobody even wants to go to my live event. That would be the process. Who wants to come to my live event, sit there for 3 days, spend $500 to fly out, spend $1,000 to stay at the hotel, plus food? Nobody wants to do that part, but they want the result that that process gives them. So at the end of the day, I got really clear on what result is my live event, what result is my coaching, what result is my product going to give someone, and I talk at that, because then the process is just the way we get there. So I really rarely ever talk in our messaging or in what we're doing about the process. They just get sold the result that they want to create, and the process is just what we found is the best way to get there.
Oh, I think that is brilliant. Again, for those of you guys who are listening, please understand, when you're looking at your product, you're looking at your funnel and everything else, so many times people get all focused on, the tricks and the gimmicks and things to get things to work. The most important thing, the only thing that really matters, is that result. So again, Nicholas, I think that's just super smart.
A quick example would be, I want to help people get healthy. I get this all the time, or I want to help people change their mindset. And that is that's what you want to do. But what does that do for them that would make them motivated to take action? Because they already know that they should drop body fat. They already know they should grow their business, or they already know that they should go to an event. But at the end of the day, what is that going to give them in return? And every single investment needs to have an ROI. We do this in business, and it's the same thing with every decision we make. So I'm always looking at, what are they going to get out of it, so that we, as a person providing a service, that should be the number one thing you look at anyway. If you're not confident that they're going to get an ROI on anything they do with you, then you should refer them to someone else. And so getting clear on that is like a number one way to get confidence in your own product.
I love it. So when you're taking a look at, help people understand kind of your sales ladder or your funnel. Obviously the live event seems to always be like the top of the funnel, or one of the biggest things, which may then end up selling a higher end coaching. What are some of the other steps in your sales ladder, in your funnel?
Yeah, so we really use the power of a phone call in our sales funnel, because we do sell high ticket items or just higher ticket in general. And we just feel like we have a really great sales team that will then call our leads for us. So we really use that. Back in the day when Nicholas was doing the sales, it was funneling people into a sales conversation with Nicholas. And, he would close 9 out of 10 people, which is extremely good. And so, to then duplicate it himself, we got a sales team. And so a lot of our funnels that we have will lead into that, because it's such high converting. And we know that the businessman, for the most part, since that's our target market, is they like to have that type of conversation with someone, because they're so busy that they won't even look at an email. Like, we send out emails to our people that pay us a lot of money, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't even get that email." It's like, you have to pick up the phone and like talk to them, or they are so busy, there's ADD, that they just don't ever look at it. So we've really used the power of funneling people into a sales conversation on the phone to close them.
And one of the ways that we do that is through always having a free offer that really is pulling out our ideal client. So I'll always put out like a free cheat sheet, like we talked about earlier, a checklist. Those are some of the words that I think are converting really well for us right now: checklist and cheat sheet. Because nobody really wants right now. They're not really reading our ebook or something like that. And so that is always going to bring out who our ideal clients would be for the actual phone call. And so we have tons of testimonials. So we're always grabbing them with some type of free offer, getting them to know who we are. Because at the end of the day, whether it's in person or online, I always want people to feel like they're indebted to me at first contact. I always want to give first in person. Equally, I want to give first online.
I love that. So are you guys, as far as most of your traffic, is it coming through referrals? Is it coming through direct mail? Is it coming through Facebook? Where are you getting most of your traffic from the front end?
Yeah, so our highest end clients are coming from referrals, which is where we just bring them through a simple funnel, which is an application funnel. And that is simply testimonial straight to application. Now, the majority of our lower end products, like from anywhere from $2,000 down to $147, those are all coming from Facebook. And so typically I pixel every single page in our funnel. I'm always driving traffic to that front end offer. And then I'm like, great, I can create a lookalike out of those people that opted into that front end offer. And then as I season all the pixels, I'm creating lookalikes out of all the pixels on every single page. And that way I'm just refining that target market more and more. And the end goal for us is to have a bunch of people fill out applications for all of our different offers, and seeing which lookalike audience works better. And then on top of that, it's great because you can go out there and retarget every single person who lands on every single page to get them to go back and do that next step. And when you have products that start off at the 247 and go all the way up to 15,000, you're able to get people to go through each step, really vet them out, and get those high quality people that literally, for me, I love talking to. And that's why I do what I do, is because I didn't want to attract people that I didn't want to hang out with on a daily basis. I thought, if I'm going to do health and fitness, I might as well do it with people that I like, and I love entrepreneurs. And so we really make sure that we're spending more to get a lead, because I want those high-end entrepreneurs that want to get healthy, that are men. But on top of that, they're also people that I love to connect with, and we're able to get them that result.
I think that's fantastic. So do you guys is there a webinar in there involved? Or, I mean, is it straight copy and sales pages? And what are the things you have as far as selling $2,000 products?
Yeah, so for right now, we're doing like cheat sheet to a whole entire meal plan, which they give us their phone number, and then we have them do the application. That's for the health side of things. But we're actually testing out a new one right now for our Brotherhood platform, which is our membership site for all the men. And we're doing the checklist to a webinar registration, which is, they can get instant access to the training. So we're testing out that. We literally just launched that. So we'll let you know how the webinar style goes on that side of things.
I love it. So the part I'm so excited about is the fact that you guys have really done this kind of almost old school in a way, basically cheat sheets and free offers or low barrier offers to a phone call, and then selling them on the phone, which I think is just fascinating. I love that approach, and so many people are afraid to pick up the phone. And again, Nicholas, I know you said you kind of were doing that from the very beginning. I think that's probably the part that a lot of people keep forgetting about. You make so much more money offline than you can online. And I think it's great you're doing the lead gen online to take them offline. So congratulations on all you guys are doing.
Yeah, I didn't know any other way. For the first 600 one-on-ones that we did, I didn't have any actual online leads coming in at all. And I had to just go out there and meet, generate, and get on a phone call. And so I'd go out there, I'd speak to small groups, and I've utilized this inside of funnels as well with just duplicating the same thing, but I go talk to a small group, 15 or 50 people. I would go up to them and figure out what their goal is. I would ask them, let's get on a phone call and point you in the right direction so that there was no high pressure. It was like, hey, it was going to be YouTube or it'll be me, who knows? And we jump on the phone call, and every time it would be me who could help them usually. And so that same type of approach we've taken online to be able to really have control at the end of the day of the leads that we have coming in and the money that we have coming in, so we can go out there and test new things. If everyone could just throw up a high converting funnel that made them tons of money, everyone would do it. But it takes a little bit of refining, and too many people stop 3 feet from gold because they run out of money or they get too scared. But if you're able to get on the phone, talk through things with people, and generate revenue, 30,000, 100,000, whatever it is, 10,000, you're able to then put that back into refining those funnels.
I love that. In fact, what I'd like to do now is spend really the rest of this interview here on this whole idea as far as a cheat sheet. And one of the things you guys were talking about beforehand was your 7 ways to create, build, and scale for the long term. Kind of goes back to what you were just referencing. So it's kind of perfect segue in here where you're saying, a lot of times people just get 3 feet from the gold and stop. So help us understand, first of all, where can they get the cheat sheet? And then let's kind of talk through what they get from that.
Yeah, so the cheat sheet's at thebilliondollarbody.com/cheat sheet. It's really for the person that has been working really hard but really hasn't hit their stride yet, or it's for the person that has been doing really well, but they want to take their business and their life to the next level by having a lot more peace while they do it. Because some things, you can build a monster sometimes that you don't actually enjoy, and this really helps you, again, create, build, and then scale a profitable business. And the way we do it is by 1, surrounding yourself with the right people, 2, figuring out your end goal, 3, using your expertise, 4, knowing your ideal client, implement fast, make decisions even faster, and then also mastering that sales process that we talked about. Because at the end of the day, when you can master that sales process, you have full control of everything you do. And the last thing would be going out there and creating a team.
I love it. So again, I highly recommend you guys go ahead and check out Billion Dollar Body. In fact, it's the Billion Dollar Body, right?
Yeah, thebilliondollarbody.com/cheat sheet. And that, again, is really getting clear on what are you trying to accomplish, and also what are your strengths. Because at the end of the day, when you can operate out of your strengths, you're going to make a much larger impact. And when things align with your long-term goal of what you want to accomplish with your life, you're able to actually enjoy this thing. Because to be honest, you can go out there and create success in any industry if you work hard enough. But why not enjoy it at the same time and work out of your strengths so you get even more massive results, not only for the client or the end user, but also for yourself?
I think that's fantastic. I know, again, I'm going through this myself right now as far as your cheat sheet and everything else, and I love going into the auto webinar things. Again, for those of you guys who are listening, take a look at what they're doing. There's no better way than following someone who's already highly successful, and I think it's really cool as far as this whole concept of a cheat sheet. So how large are these cheat sheets? Help a person understand when you talk about a cheat sheet, what exactly is that?
So it's just like a couple paragraphs on each certain subject for us. It's kind of like a checklist is, I would say, like a couple sentences on each topic, but the cheat sheet is a little bit longer. And then there's like the ebook, which is like you're actually writing a full on, 5-page little book or longer. For us, we always have to think of like our ideal client and how much attention span that they have to it. And even the one that we have right now in the business, it might even be a little bit too long for some type of entrepreneurs because they don't want to take the time to read all of that, if they're just skimming through certain things. But we try to make it like really simple, really powerful, because we know that the guy who's opting in for this isn't going to take the time to read a 10-page ebook that's written in like 12 font. And so you just, if your client loves to read, then do the 10-page ebook. But if you know that they just want simple, straight to the point bullet points that they can implement, then do that. So it's however long you think the attention span of your client would be.
Well, terrific. Well, guys, tell me real quick, what are some of the things that you guys have seen that really kind of kept you guys going in your business as far as being able to create, build, and scale the $1 Billion Body?
Yeah, so I actually have a live training, or it was a live training, now it's a recording, right after you grab the cheat sheet that people can see, that really changed everything for us. And I think it would affect everyone, no matter what industry, whether you're an athlete, doesn't matter what it is First, getting around a solid community. I realized just the other day hanging out with Brandon and Kaylin, we stayed in a hotel. We stayed up till 1 a.m. because we're having so much fun. And then at 7:30 a.m., we went to go work out, and we all had a blast. Why? Because everybody held that as a high standard. So that community made the hard work that normally I would have worked out less time. I would have been mad and groggy about it because I had to go down there by myself. It became fun, and I worked out longer. So that's just crazy to think that the community aspect is what made that happen. So building a successful community, one. Two, high level mentors. And to me, mentors aren't teachers. Teachers teach you a subject, mentors teach you about life. So I always look for them to be prospering in health, business, because that's what I'm looking to get from them, and relationships. And these are people that can really speak into your life, and you know that no matter what they tell you, you can trust what they say because you know their intention. And that gives you confidence when you go out there in the world, because you're going to get people that dislike what you do, telling you that you changed, trying to conform you to what they like. And when you have mentors in your life, you're able to be confident because you know that if you have anything going on, anything wrong, they would have called you out on it in the first place. So you can walk out there with confidence and not being just self-confidence that you think you're right all the time. And then the third thing is a step-by-step game plan. And that comes from first getting clear. And that's why I put the cheat sheet out there. It's because you want to get clear. And then from there, with those mentors and with that group, you're able to really create a step-by-step game plan, because nothing in life is accomplished outside of extreme focus. And you can't have extreme focus unless you're 100% believe in what you're doing and you have that step-by-step game plan.
I love that. I think that extreme focus is really tough for a lot of entrepreneurs. For forever, it seems to be, entrepreneurs joke about, entrepreneurial AD&D or the squirrel or whatever else it might be as far as, distracting them. How have you been able to maintain that type of focus?
I think the focus comes from, what your mission is. When we created the brand Billion Dollar Body, we had a clear vision statement and mission statement of what we were doing. And, sometimes you get a little bit off course and you're like, okay, am I doing the right thing here? Am I focused? But then when you go back to that, it's like, okay, no, this is the core of what we're doing. And this is who we're serving. And this is what, we're going to accomplish in the next year, 2 years. And what's funny is like the focus, when you are extremely focused on that goal, you tend to actually hit your goals a lot faster than you ever intended. So we created this whole vision book of all these things we wanted to create in like 5 years. And we literally did them in the last year, besides launching supplements for Billion Dollar Body. So we're like, okay, cool. Like, well, now we got to create like a whole new thing for it, because we did it so fast because we were just focused on that every single day.
Man, I can't agree with you more than that. That's I'm a huge believer in that whole concept there, as far as having that vision, that focus. We did that earlier, in fact, a week ago or so, when with our 50,000 users. And no one thought we would be able to get them as quickly as we did, but that was literally my biggest focus, was to have it happen before our viral video launch, and it happened literally about 10 hours before it. So I'm a huge believer. Those things just seem to happen. I don't know if it's you get that much more laser focused on it, or if the world and Mother Nature and everyone else and the universe gets behind you, or whatever it is. I don't care how it happens. I just love the fact that it does. So congratulations, guys. That's fantastic.
Hey, Amanda's naturally focused, and just to show the difference between the two of us, for me, at the end of the day, I hate failing in front of people, and I love people watching me succeed. So when it came to like our live event, I knew that if I booked all the speakers, put the deposit down in the room, paid for everyone's food, did all these things, then after I sold 10 people for the event, had all the speakers booked, I had to fill up the room or I was going to look like an idiot. And that gave me so much focus that I didn't know what to do with myself. And it created so much success, because I knew that if I failed, I was going to fail in front of everyone that I liked, that I trusted, that I loved. And I would have failed the speakers that all came out on their own dime for us. We didn't pay for all of our speakers, are great friends. And then on top of that, if the 10 attendees show up and I didn't have 100 and I said I was going to have 100, the value of the room would go down, because they'd be like, why am I the only one that's in here when there was supposed to be 100 people? And so that social accountability of not really wanting to fail in front of everyone, because too many people set deadlines like, hey, by January 1, I want to have 100 new clients in this high level program. And you roll around January 1 and there's only one in there. And it's because they're only accountable to themselves, and they can go, oh, next time. And it's because they never actually just went in and focused on it. So I like creating the social accountability so that I fail in front of everyone if I fail.
Nicholas, you and I are very similar, because I am totally the exact same way. When we did our viral video launch, it was like, we're going to have at least 300 people there. And, 10 days, 2 weeks beforehand, we had like 150, and I was stressed. But again, we pulled it off because I didn't want to fail in front of everyone either. So I understand that completely. It's like whatever it takes, whether it's the carrot or the stick or a little bit of both, I think that's fantastic. Congratulations again, guys. It's really cool to see what you guys have built.
Oh, thank you so much. And we're excited. We're going to do another event in June because it just went so well. And it's live events are fun. A lot of people get stressed out about them, but it's like, I think we were just blessed. I think we were what we were called to do because we love it so much.
I think that's exciting. I know Brandon and Kaylin have their first live event next month, or in the next couple of weeks, actually. So I understand that now. Live events are a ton of fun. They can be stressful, but I agree. They just bring together a community so strong. So I think it's fantastic.
100%
well, guys,
agree.
As we get close to kind of wrapping things up here, any other advice that you'd give to our funnel hacker community as far as either ways they can build or stay focused or scale or grow their companies? Any last minute words of advice?
Some of the things I'd like to say is when you're putting different offers out there, you're just seeing what sticks. Not everything has to really work, but when they work, they'll work for a while. So it's about figuring out what Facebook ad works, what funnel's working. And from there, you're able to really duplicate that and use it over and over again and refine it from there. But it's almost like people want just to hit a home run every single time. It's okay to have 5, 4, 3 funnels. Doesn't matter how many funnels fail before you get something that converts in a way that you think is profitable or it's doing what you want it to do. Because at that point, then it keeps doing that. And you can just do little tiny tweaks, which takes all the pressure off. And it also eliminates tons of rework. And then the second thing, when you talked about how big is the cheat sheet, just like every innovation in the entire planet, we are always looking at, can I create the same result for the client with less work or effort? So can my one-on-one coaching, can my group coaching give them the same exact result? And if so, the value is higher and I'm able to create that same result. So it's not about the process, figuring out what's the least amount of effort or what's the least amount of time that I can create that same exact result for the client. So if that's a 60-page book or a 600-page book, is the least amount of text you can put in there to create a result, then do that. So our cheat sheets are always shortening if I can create that same result with less text. But if I'll never decrease the amount of results
I love that.
To make it smaller, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think that sounds great.
Yeah, and I'll share one last just tip of advice for all you ClickFunnels users out there. Just be patient. I feel like a lot of people, even myself, because sometimes I struggle with getting frustrated and wanting things faster. But just being patient with, the process of what you're doing and trying to figure it out and realize that even if it takes you a year to figure out ClickFunnels, will it be worth it? To get a funnel up and going that's converting, even if it takes 2 years, like, goodness, that's amazing. You did it, and who knows how much money you're going to make from that. So just be patient with it. Don't give up and just keep going.
I love it. Well, guys, thank you so much. Again, I appreciate both of you guys, Nicholas and Amanda, for being on the show. I think it's just amazing what the two of you guys, the empire that both of you guys are building together. I love seeing how you guys are focusing on your strengths. And again, I encourage everybody, go ahead and take a look at thebilliondollarbody.com/cheat sheet. Take a look at it. You'll see exactly what both Amanda and Nicholas are referring to as far as trying to reduce the amount of time and quantity, but getting greater quality of results. So again, guys, thank you so much. I wish you guys all the best in your business, and I look forward to seeing you guys real soon.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Thanks for listening to Funnel Hacker Radio Podcast. If you'd like to be notified anytime we release a new episode, just subscribe over at funnelhackerradio.com. In addition to that, we'd love to send you a free gift. You can find that free gift at funnelhackerradio.com/free trial. One last thing is we love giving away cars. So if you'd like access to a free dream car, all you have to do is go to funnelhackerradio.com/dream car and you'll get all the details. Thanks again for listening.